Hello everybody. This is Mistress Aura's channel coming to you all with another brilliantly put together video. How you guys doing tonight? I hope all is well. I'm feeling great. My skin is skinning. I got my water here. And I advise you all to get you something to drink or eat. Get comfortable because tonight we're gonna talk about some grown people shit. We're gonna talk about why, as a woman, you can't get wet or you can't come, you can't squirt, you can't cream, whatever you want to call it. I really want to dive into that, right? I've been thinking about doing this video for a long time. And I have tons of personal experience, right? I typically speak about things that I for sure have experience in. So ladies, you are not alone. It is nothing to be embarrassed about. But you have the desire because I feel deep down that you know you can. And deep down you know that all women deserve pleasure, right? And you deserve pleasure. Why not you? So let's get into it. My agenda for this video, by the way, is excuse me one second. My agenda for this video is for you to tap into your pleasure source. It is for you to utilize what I'm giving you into your everyday life. And it does not just have to be for sex, right? But we'll get all into that. First, I'm going to share some personal experience because I feel like in order for me to get to you all, I have to give you guys a little insight of what I struggle with. So, that was my cat. My ex-boyfriend of, I want to say 4 years, right? Very young and dumb. I was a teenager. And I wouldn't say sex was like pleasurable for me at that time. Because I spent many years trying to impress him, right? I take accountability for that because I hadn't realized that I was disconnected from my body. When you are, your head is a part of your body, right? But when you're living there in your thoughts, you're thinking, you're actively, consciously thinking about, oh, am I tight enough? Am I wet enough? Does he like the way I taste? Does he like the way I'm moving? My breasts are too small. My butt is too small. I got stretch marks. I got this going on. I got that going on, right? You are so disconnected from your body. And once you tap into actually living inside of your body, you start noticing things that turn you on in your body that you have not paid attention to. You know what I mean? Sex was not, it wasn't something I really looked forward to. I looked forward to pleasing him, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in essence, right, I was not in my body. I was not really fully enjoying the sex for me and being in control of my body. And I never spoke up during sex. I never, it seemed like a chore for me to just do and check off my list. You know what I mean? I never had, and it most of the time it hurted. And I sat and I took it. I never like complained. I never, you know, was never really curious about touching myself and pleasing myself. Not because I thought it was disgusting. I never thought it was disgusting. Some people do. And you do have to debunk that as to why you think that it's disgusting to pleasure yourself um, when you lack information, so much information. It wasn't that. It wasn't that, but I feel like I hadn't explored my body, right? You know, um, nobody, especially as parents, ever talks about when you become of age and you start becoming curious about your genitals and the spirituality of your sexual energy. Because, I mean, before I lost my virginity, I had thoughts. And even if I, sat a certain type of way, it somewhat turned me on. It did. And I'm by no means am trying to be perverted. So check that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just because you are not exactly sexually active, that does not mean that you don't have urges or fantasies or sexual energy. It's sexual energy, right? That's what it boils down to. And when you are disconnected from your body, whether that's due to trauma, whether that's due to, and yes, trauma is included with people telling you negative things about exploring your body, and making it seem as if you are disgusting. And it's, to me, that's trauma. Anything that, disconnects you from your body and your nature, I feel is traumatic. um my ex was he was a very passionate lover. I must add that he catered to my body. um and I love the fact that he catered to my body, but it still was a disconnect. It was very, and it didn't seem like I was lubricated because I was so disconnected, and I'm just thinking about everything else besides us being in that moment and me having the power to choose, like, how do I want to move my hips? What noises do I want to naturally make? And that is okay. So I think a lot of hindrances with women who cannot be lubricated is you feel limited in what you can do. And sex is meant to get wild. It's meant to get nasty. It's meant to be pleasurable for you. Like, this is you all's time to really let loose, not to be constricted. And that is going to be not easy. I was gonna say it was gonna be hard, but I don't want to say that. But if you've never let loose and you are very self-conscious about your stretch marks, your breast, how your vagina tastes, smells, is it tight enough, this and that, um, instead of thinking about getting yours, right? I feel like a lot of women might think that that's selfish, and it's not. He's going to get his, right? Now, yes, he will pleasure you, but it's pleasurable for him too. You getting it? Um, There's nothing wrong with doing things that, pleases your man, like fellatio, for example. Most women don't like doing it. Personally, I do. Um, but that doesn't mean that you necessarily don't have to provide that for him. You know what I mean? Or your woman, whatever. Um, if you still want to please them, by all means. But I also want you to make things pleasurable for you. Like, okay, if you're going down on him, grab his hand and make him rub you somewhere, like, or down there or something like that. Make this experience for you. He is going to learn there, or he or she, they're going to learn what to do next time, and they feel more safe to let loose when you kind of direct them on the things that you like, No offense. But, it is time to put our big girl panties on and understand that we are adults. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, when you are a kid, you're very limited in how you can express yourself for the most part. But as an adult, like during the act, throw all of that unnecessary shit, what you cooking for dinner, focus, okay? Focus. And honestly, meditation does help. It really does. It helps because you're focusing on, a point of your body or a thought, a stream of consciousness. You are focusing on something. So for those who are against, like, self-pleasuring, y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't even necessarily have to put your hands on yourself to turn yourself on. I kid you not. I promise you. You just have to have a very active and, imagination. Like, with you just laying on the bed, and you imagining how something would feel, or your, clitoris pulsating and you being, stimulated. Like, really let your fantasies thrive in your mental. That does the job for me. And, for the most part, some fantasies for me aren't necessarily, shouldn't be lived out. I think they should. But, I say really go all out, go hard without hurting anybody. I will say that, because I don't play that shit. But really let your imagination, let it loose. Like, imagine, like, the audacity you would have to, like, fuck back or curse, say things that you would never imagine you would tell a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, really being slutty with it. If that's what you want to do, I'm not saying it always have to be wild, but letting yourself loose and letting yourself fully relax and being vulnerable and taking that control. I promise you. You gonna get your mojo back. You gonna get the mojo back that you thought you never had. The key is being connected. And by the way, that, when I was speaking about, being in your body, right? Please don't just do this when it comes to sex. I promise you, because it's already hard for you to get out of your head during sex. So I want you to do things so that way you are actually building up the capacity to, when it gets to that time, you already in your body. Your nipples are getting hard because you are in your body. Your pussy is already wet before he touches you because you are in your body. You're letting, your mental stimulate you, and your heart is racing. Like, you getting hot. You getting bothered. You know what I'm saying? So, throughout your day, this might sound taboo as fuck, but it ties together. It ties together. You can't just pick and choose when you want to do something and then think you're going to be a master at it. No. So, let me give y'all some game. Throughout your day, you need to practice presence in your body. And I'll tell you how to do that. This is for me. I suggest, if you don't like the way that I teach something, utilize like ChatGPT and customize it the way that you see fit, or just use your intuition, whatever fits you. For me, if I feel like I'm in my head and I'm anxious, or I'm overthinking, or I'm just frazzled, stressed, whatever, I imagine my body as like a vase, right? A vase. And what's inside the vase? Either water, either air. Um, I wouldn't say emptiness because I'm not empty, but space. That is the space that you want to be tapped into inside your body. That is as best that's the best I can do as far as explaining how to get in your body. Imagining like shift from this to the energy within like your heart space. Start there. Start there. Start, and if you feel emptiness, that is okay. That's good. You feel that space within you. I be hearing stuff, y'all. It's the neighbors. But you feel that space within you that is so good. And once you tapped into that space, you're gonna naturally start feeling sensations in your arms and your legs. And I want you to, take, you know, um, where was I getting at? Oh, yes, go to other places. Take, from if you got a wig on, and I'm not being funny, but if you got a wig on, feel the tightness of that wig on your scalp, girl. Feel, when you walk in a room, the air brushing on your face. This is, are you thinking then? No. I'm not saying don't think. That's not what I'm indicating. But when you require more presence within your life, more flow, you're going to flow. You see how that shit ties together? And I'm dead serious. Dead serious. I hope that these images in y'all head, like when I speak, I intentionally say things for you all to envision it within your head. Because that's how I process information, through seeing things. And doing mentally and being hands-on. Or, wiggle your toes and simply breathe. Just relax, wiggle your toes, and accept these sensations. Accept the sensations. It is a very beautiful experience because it allows you to tap into your intuition. It allows you to tap into your emotions on a deeper level because, during sex, you want to feel like sexy. You want to feel compassion. You want to feel love, beastly, and you got to take baby steps first to get into that, that mentality when it is time. Sex can be very exciting. I love thinking about it. I love doing it. I love talking about it. I love it. I do. Yeah, I mean, when I'm excited, and I want you to also pay attention to, like, how does your body feel when you get excited in that way? Or a man that just, oh my God, that is glistening, muscles on 10, smelling good. How do you feel? Like, oh, like you want to bite your lip. You feel just like that's what you want to tap into during sex. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a strong desire to do it and a strong desire to consume that person. That's just me. I hope y'all really, listen to what I said, and I hope you all apply it because it is so important. And I will be making a part 2 to this video because I want you all to get this ingrained first and to practice this every day. This is not something that you can just like dibble and dabble. As a woman, you should be tapped into your body. That's how you tap into your intuition, your creativity, your money, your way of relaxing, and knowing what you need. Because if you don't know what you need and you can't feel what you like or dislike because you're so numbed out and disconnected. How are you going to communicate that to him? How you going to guide him to rub that clit while you in it? If that's not what you are connected to, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know you first to guide somebody else to getting to know you. So I will be making a video about masturbation and self-pleasuring because, oh my God, I hated it at first. I was so disconnected. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't feel anything. You know what I mean? But we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of masturbation so it could be so pleasurable and just mouth-watering. I can't wait. I can't wait. I love talking about this type of shit. So stay tuned, babies. I got my beauty rest. I got my retinol on my face, my Noxzema, and it's time for me to lay it down. So I love you guys. This is Mistress Aura. Subscribe, like, and share. Love you guys.